this Billy thing is wild to me because
Yeah.
like I saw him on Rogan and thought like, wow, what a well-spoken guy. He seems cool. And then I like it kind of, the episode went out, it was normal.
Yeah.
And then I saw something the other day and it seems like everything he said on Rogan just wasn't true.
Yeah, it seems like kind of some of the things he'd been saying for a long time seem to be false. And remember, take a chance to like and subscribe to the channel. But here is Mr. I keep calling him Ben Carlson, but it's Billy Carson. It's Billy Carson. Here he is. Billy boy, oh Billy boy. Adam Sandler fan here. Okay.
Fans call him the biggest threat to Christianity, and he calls himself,
guess what, guys? I'm one of the foremost world leader in the knowledge on ancient texts and tablets.
One of the foremost world leader.
Billy Carson recently faced a challenge like never before, a debate with Wes Huff, a Christian scholar and historian, and afterwards, Billy reportedly showed up to the producer's house at 2:30 a.m. demanding that the footage not be released.
And maybe looking for some booty.
Yeah, that's such a crazy thing to do.
Yeah, what are you doing? Hey, 2:30 in the morning, let's go to the producer's house. Maybe something productive will happen.
So funny is for me, I'm a night owl.
Yeah.
I would be like wide awake.
You'd be like, hey, I'm in the middle of round of MLB the show.
Yeah, I'm playing MLB the show, dude.
Yeah, right now I'm in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to go into overtime, guys. We're going to extra innings. It's not overtime in baseball, whatever. I don't care.
And if you haven't heard about this debate yet, there's a reason for that.
In the wake of the interview, Billy Carson has asked that the recording not be released. In my personal opinion, the conversation did not go well for Billy, though.
So the debate started off with Billy's argument that Jesus was never crucified, which, of course, if true, that means that Christianity is false.
In my video.
So we're also saying that this guy in 2000 whatever is disproving basically what, because people before like TV and stuff, they just read the Bible.
Yeah, no,
like
true.
that. All those people, all their entire lives, everything they devoted to. No, I found some shit.
Yeah, and then this guy just pops out of the tree like some kind of Keebler elf.
Yeah. Hey, that's a call. Remember that Keebler elf comment for our next video. Remember that. Hey, that's in your back pocket is Keebler elf. Okay, now we know that. We got a couple of zingers that are just sitting there waiting.
Oh, no.
Okay, here we go. Back to Ben. No, Billy.
And if you listen to the podcast, according to the Sinai Bible, Jesus wasn't crucified in that Bible. And that Bible predates the King James Version of the Bible. And the text there actually is about 12 to 14,000 differences between the Sinai Bible and the King James Version of the Bible, which came much later. And then also one of the things that were interesting is that they discovered the book of Jesus' wife, which is at the Harvard Seminary, which according to some scholars, that's a little controversial, but they claim that this is an accurate record that Jesus may have even been married, which then, adds more, if that's true, it adds more to the hypothesis that maybe he wasn't crucified.
So basically,
okay, man, that's a lot to digest.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a lot to take in.
It's his like thesis statement, so I couldn't really edit it down any more than I did. He has basically 3 fucking points, and we're gonna hear more about him.
Acknowledge how bad I spilled this
You
water
spilled so much in. Oh man, we see it on the screen.
Yeah,
and it's
no,
bad.
I looked like Kim Kardashian after that Ray J video.
Oh
It's
man,
just a disaster.
This is horrible.
Oh,
you're like Bonnie Blue.
Yeah, I am.
Man, look at Lily Phillips over here.
Yeah, no,
all right, I know more porn actresses' names.
Yeah, we've learned a lot
because of these fucking videos. Okay, let's get back to the Christianity video that we're covering after we covered these porn star things.
he's saying that this alleged Sinai Bible doesn't claim that Jesus was crucified and that it predates the King James Version of the Bible.
When you say the Sinai Bible, what are you referring to specifically?
It's the biblical text that was written. It made it into you can actually look it up on Amazon. It's a Bible called, I have a version at home.
He's saying it's like he's all sleepy and shit too.
When you refer to the Sinai Bible, would you be referring to Codex Sinaiticus? Like the codex that comes... Okay.
So the reason why Wes is asking him this is because there's no such thing as the Sinai Bible, apart from a title that someone on Amazon gave it for a copy of it that they were selling.
I actually have.
And there's this whole thing.
Right out.
There's this whole thing. He's like, I got it on Amazon.
Got him.
He's like, here we go.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Can we acknowledge Corey? That's hilarious. He said this podcast needs more oil. Do you know what that's in reference to? It's a Casey Rocket bit. It's like the
More
wildest
oil?
bit I've ever seen.
Really? Okay, I got no idea what that means. But I think it needs more oil too, because we need to have less dependency on other countries. Let's do it.
I have a facsimile. So I have a photocopy that was done by the British Library of Codex Sinaiticus that I work with in my office. So I have it here. And the Codex Sinaiticus in particular is just a Greek, it's a 4th century Greek manuscript. It comes from approximately between 325 and 350 AD. And its text of the Gospels reads almost identical to the modern Greek text that we develop translations from.
But even more devastating,
when you say that it denies the crucifixion or that the crucifixion isn't there, I mean, I can go on right now, Codex Sinaiticus, and I can look up the end of, say, Matthew 27, where it has Jesus being crucified, and that's in Codex Sinaiticus, or, the...
Okay, and in Christian language, that's boom in your face. Got
Dunked
you.
right on him to pull it out immediately.
Yeah, you done got.
You know what that reminds me of? You remember that
What's
video that said, somebody call an ambulance? Not for me, though. And that's 100% this circumstance.
We gotta get a repository. And remember, if you're watching the videos, please send us any stories that you find fun and you'd like us to be talking about as well.
Oh, yeah, that'd be really fun.
Yeah. All right, back to Billy Ben.
John 19. In
your face, John 19.
Now, if it isn't clear by now, this is devastating for Billy's career.
Wasn't that the Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I think so.
Wes decides to ask Billy to pull it up online so that way they can verify it together. And then Billy says that he wants to make sure he has the right version. But I'm not even sure what he means by right version, because there's only one version, the one that Billy has referred to countless times over the last few years, which is why you won't find a single scholar on the planet that agrees with Billy or has any idea what he's talking about here.
The text where I was referencing, actually, I misquoted there. It's the Gospel of Barnabas.
And he's made this exact claim.
It's the Gospel of Barnabas.
Bring Barnabas into it.
Yeah.
But if he really did misquote his
do you think that like Sinai and Barnabas sound alike?
Not even remotely close.
How did he get those two confused?
Oh, he's backpedaling. He's a politician.
Like, wait. I thought it was Barnabas.
Yeah, no, he's hitting that Deion Sanders backpedal.
Hey, what's some obscure that I don't think this guy... Ooh, and look at the pause for this guy.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Zombie eyes.
In there.
Reference, then we would expect for him to quote the Sinai Bible or the Book of Barnabas when he makes the argument against the crucifixion.
I give you one big translation that's off, is they say, well, Jesus was crucified.
Whoa.
Well, it doesn't exist in the Sinai Bible.
What happened?
It doesn't exist in the Book of Barnabas.
This shows that he's been undeniably misleading people with this claim. But I'm sure that we could all overlook this mistake if the point about the Book of Barnabas still stands, right?
The Gospel of Barnabas is a really interesting document because it is a known forgery. And I think a bigger problem is that the Gospel of Barnabas actually paraphrases Dante's Inferno. Never mind the fact that we don't have any evidence of it prior to the 14th century, and none in any other language other than Middle Age Italian and Spanish.
The actual biblical
That's such a burn. That's such a burn. It's like, hey,
dude, he's just killing him.
Yeah, what you're referring to is literally like 1,100 years late.
I haven't seen a blowout this bad since Seattle beat the Broncos in that Super Bowl. Oh. This is just a disaster.
This is pretty wild. This is great.
They reference the crucifixion and go back to the 2nd century. So that means it's impossible for Billy to be correct about this, since he cites the Sinai Bible that goes back to the 4th century and does reference the crucifixion. And the Book of Barnabas is more than 1,000 years later than the biblical manuscripts that we have.
It's a known forgery. I mean, no one's referring to the Gospel of Barnabas as anything other than...
If you say it's a known forgery, yes, but I'm going to go with that. Let's talk about the Old Testament a little bit.
But sadly, it seems that Billy didn't have a response to the facts that Wes pointed out. He instead tried to move to the Old Testament, but Wes wasn't going to let him off the hook that easily.
Let's talk about the Old Testament a little bit and leading up into the New Testament.
Well, hold on, because do you mind if I address the Gospel of Jesus' wife?
Sure, go ahead.
So oftentimes what happens is that the text of the Gospel of Jesus' wife is kind of paralleled with the Gospel of Philip.
Okay.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, about Philip?
No, I know this guy's tone. He's about to just end him.
Yeah, he's like,
whenever
a
white guy,
that like in the future, what you really should be doing, and then it's boom, dropping a
Dude,
hammer.
whenever a white guy raises pitch on
Yeah.
you, you're about to get hit with an avalanche of
And like
information.
when he gets super extra polite,
Yeah.
like look, you know how many push-ups this guy does? Like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
just he has so much unbridled energy waiting to unleash.
Christian McCaffrey over here is about to tear this guy up.
This Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey.
Which mentions that Mary Magdalene, that Jesus would kiss Mary Magdalene on the mouth. The reason we know it's also not legitimate is because we can tie it directly to not copying from an ancient text, but actually copying from an online.
What people really don't tell you is that he kissed everybody on the mouth.
Oh, geez, he's like my neighbor.
Yeah, just like open mouth, lip kiss, you know, to the leper, to, you know, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Oh, geez, all three of them.
All of them.
Version of the Gospel of Thomas in a PDF form. And the mistake on that PDF form was copied into the text that was borrowed in the phraseology Jesus' wife.
So unless Billy literally doesn't do any research, there's no doubt in my mind that Billy's aware of these facts. So the real question is, how is he going to refute these facts and respond to the claims?
I don't know anybody in the field of papyrology, paleography, historiography, who actually refers to these documents as being legitimate.
That's fair enough. I can respect that. So let's go into the Old Testament a little bit.
And to make
let's get back to that Old Testament, dog.
To any of these claims. So at this point in the debate, Wes has successfully refuted every claim that Billy made with facts that anyone watching this video can easily go verify. So now we're all starting to see why Billy works so hard to keep this video off of the internet. But after having all of his claims on the New Testament utterly demolished,
why he was trying to get that booty call.
Billy once again tries to pivot the conversation to a place where he seems to feel more confident in his research, the Old Testament.
Genesis is a much smaller version of a much bigger story, but it's literally almost word for word from the Enuma Elish.
Have you read the Enuma Elish?
Yeah.
Enuma Elish?
Oh, he got him with the pronunciation.
Sure. Do you mind summarizing the content of the creation account in the Enuma Elish?
Sure.
Okay, so he's about to summarize this thing. I'm telling you, this thing was like 5 times longer than what it is, it's already going to be off the rails crazy.
I can only imagine. You knew when he corrected him on the pronunciation.
Have you ever read the Enuma Elish?
Yeah, he's waiting.
Enuma Elish?
He's waiting.
Yeah, there was an umlaut in that word somewhere.
The Enuma Elish is
still says it wrong.
The summary of it is that it really gives us an account, which is crazy, an astronomical account of the creation of our solar system. It talks about planets and moons gaining specific orbits around the sun. It talks about a huge planet named Tiamat. And then there talks about a nemesis of sorts. The name was changed to Marduk. Marduk is in the Jewish American Library, in the biblical text, in the Torah, and so forth. Marduk wanted to be the destroyer, so Marduk is the one that during its next orbit towards Tiamat, crashed into Tiamat and destroyed Tiamat.
So that's where Marvel got it.
I think so.
Did you know about Tiamat?
Oh no,
in
what's
the Marvel
that?
universe, it is it's a celestial being that was going to erupt out of the earth and destroy the world, but got stopped by the.
Oh, he's spoiling the movie.
No, this is some old movie. What's it called? The Celestials or the I don't know. It was the flop right after the pandemic.
Oh,
or maybe during the pandemic.
She-Hulk?
No, something like that. Very close, but yeah, Tiamat's where the MCU is going to get adamantium. So I'm pretty sure this is also a Marvel video.
What's that? Is that what that guy needed in the Dallas Buyers Club? What's adamantium?
Adamantium, not Dallas Buyers Club related, but I do like where your head's at. And yeah, no AIDS, but it was what Wolverine had grafted to his bones. It's an unbreakable metal, so it's part of why he's such a badass.
Oh, okay. I see you. I see
Yeah,
you.
super healing. You can get adamantium grafted to your skin.
Thrown towards the sun, and some were thrown towards the inner Oort cloud, towards the outer edge of the solar system. Gained a very strange orbit around our sun, where we see that Saturn and I believe Neptune switch places. Uranus is flipped on its side.
What are the actual kind of parallels there that you're looking to? Because as someone who's read both, as
somebody who's read both of the things that you're referring to, I think you're fucking wrong, bro.
So ready, dude.
He's
Anytime this guy says anything,
he's like, "Do you know how many pull-ups I did before this, bro?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how like swole my traps are, bro?"
And parallels, I actually and this is the majority of ancient Near Eastern scholarship with me, think that Genesis chapter 1 is actually an apologetic against documents like
No
So what
apologies.
are the parallels there?
Separated the waters from the waters, for example. That's in the Enuma Elish, and that's also in the biblical text.
And as polite, he simply couldn't hold back his amusement at this point.
Okay, that I would agree is a parallel. The only reason I highlight that is that if you're making this the argument, because if you brought it up, and I mean this with all due respect, there are superficial parallels. I would agree. You know, the separation of the water, the concept of the earth being formless and void. That's also in the Enuma Elish.
There are certain words that they utilize that let me know that they copied it from that text. Like, for example,
what words?
Separating the water from the waters, the void, the earth being void.
And then Billy seems to change his argument to say that there were some sentences that were copied, even though he can only provide part of one and Wes gave him the other one. So we're barely even 30 minutes into the debate at this point, and so far, Wes has completely dismantled every single piece of evidence that Billy has brought forth, and the rest of the debate continues to go on just like this. And by the way, there were countless copyright claims being filed to protect Billy to have the videos taken down, but it seems now that there's so many clips surfacing that the videos are now being left alone. But I think it's now clear why Billy wanted to keep this debate off the internet so badly. He wasn't capable of providing any evidence for any of his claims that he's been teaching for years.
Oh,
my big takeaway from this is got him.
Got him.
He lit him. Yeah, he lit him up.
Yeah, sorry, Billy boy.
I heard a wild thing about Billy too when he was like a kid.
What's that?
He said he saw like an alien spacecraft.
He saw an alien.
Yeah,
well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he was saying he like came in and told his mom about it, and that's like what got him into this.
Really?
So I was like all in. I was like, oh, that's awesome. This guy seems cool.
Bro sees aliens.
Yeah, and now I'm like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, not a fan anymore.
No, he seems. I think he's off the preservation.
Off
at
the
this
preservation,
point, yeah, at
off
this
the
point,
or the reservation.
Yeah.
Either way, you should be in a refrigerator. Yeah, so that's a pretty wild story, but I don't think I care too much about it. Because when he first started getting on stuff and he was like talking about how it's all related and it's all connected to ancient civilization and ancient apocalypse and all that Graham Hancock shit, I thought I was kind of down for it. But
I was too.
I think he's just like, a bandwagoner boy.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I feel like nothing he says is true anymore, so I like kind of lost momentum.
Yeah, no integrity. No integrity, broski.
I agree.
Sorry, in your face, dude.
Dunked on him.
Yeah, dunked on your face. Sorry. Remember, like and subscribe.
Please.